Hey guys, what's up? My name is Brittany, my friends call me Bolt, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be taking you guys on a tour of all of my house plants. Right now my collection is sitting at about 21 plants, and I've acquired those plants throughout the past 2 or 3 years. My collection has been growing, and ever since I graduated from college back in May, I have had a lot of free time on my hands, and once I was finished with college, I was like, I really want to dive into this hobby and learn more about it. It's also been really nice to have a hobby that's outside of social media that I can just, you know, read about, learn more about, and there's actually a huge houseplant lover community. I've been doing a lot of research on the different kinds of houseplants, and I love this hobby because there's so much to learn about it. It is something that has brought me a lot of joy, so I'm really excited to share this with you and let you into another little aspect of my world. So let's get started. First off, we're going to start with my Monstera. This is also called a Swiss cheese plant. That's like the nickname for it. It's in this adorable little pot. I got this plant from Home Depot. I got it after I got settled into my apartment here in LA. I really liked that it was a bigger size, and I've never had a Monstera before, and it's a very, very popular plant. I love this plant because of how big it was. It was already a pretty mature plant. As you can see, it has a lot of little leaves down there and a lot of really big mature leaves. As you can see, it's had a bit of a problem adjusting. But we do have a new little leaf down here, and it looks like this new leaf has actually already split its leaves. So I'm really excited about that new growth. It's a new addition. This is one of my favorite plants. It is an African mask plant, or an elephant's ear. It is an alocasia, and I saw it in Home Depot. Immediately I was like, I have to have that plant. I loved how the leaves look. It just has such a striking look to it. Like bam in your face with the contrast of colors on the leaves. I just loved that. And the leaves also look really pretty from behind too. This plant's done really well adjusting. I got it from Home Depot at the same time I got my Monstera plant. So I've had it for about a month and a half. This plant really likes the humidity, and so I've been watering it more frequently than my other plants. As you can see, there's another little leaf sprouting up there, and one right there too. So that's one thing I love about living in California, is the plants do really well here. So this plant was a gift. My mom gave it to me for my graduation. I love the way this plant looks. It's a palm-like plant, so it sticks out with these cute leaves. It has had a bit of a rough time though. When I first got it, it had two separate plants with two different stalks there. It had a really hard time adjusting, and one of them died, so I'm trying to keep this one alive. As you can see, the leaves are having some rough spots, but it's doing okay. I forgot to say what this plant was, but its nickname is the dragon tree, and it's very hard to pronounce, but I'm going to try my best. It's Dracaena marginata. My next big plant is this ZZ plant, and again I got this plant at Home Depot after I moved to LA with my Monstera and my African mask plant. I went on a plant bender when I moved here, but anyways, this is a ZZ plant. I'm not even going to try to say the name of it. This also has some new growth there. That's a new leaf. It's all light green, and it's starting to unravel. And there's one back here too. And this plant likes low light, so it's doing well in the darker places. This plant is another one of my top favorites. It was sitting back there. This is a dumb cane plant, or a Dieffenbachia. I actually know how to say the scientific name. It's called a dumb cane because it's actually poisonous, and if you eat it or get any kind of fluid from it in your mouth, it will actually keep you from talking, and you won't be able to talk for hours. So fun little fact. But I really like this because it just has such striking leaves. I love the colors, you know, the contrast between the light and the dark on the leaves. It's so pretty. I got this plant from one of my workplaces, and I actually got quite a few plants from there, and that's what initially kind of sparked my interest in getting a ton of plants. but the office that I was working in had a lot of plants in it, and my boss was like, hey, like you should take some cuttings from these and propagate your own plants, like you can totally do that. And so I did that with a lot of my plants, and this is one of them. So this has actually been propagating in water ever since I got it. It's really happy in this water though, so I have been scared to move it to dirt because I'm scared that it'll have kind of a hard transition. I might do that in the spring though, but for now it's happy sitting in the water. It's been like that since I got it, which has been like a year and a half. My next plant is this adorable little spider plant, and this was also a gift from one of my sorority sisters. It is a spider plant, and it's just so cute. When I got it, it was really small, and I got this around the time that I graduated. I got it, and she propagated it for me, and it was really small, and now it's just thriving. I was going to change the little pot that it's in just because it doesn't drain very well, but I'm just careful about the watering, and in order for spider plants to shoot out little baby spiders, it has to be root bound. I'm kind of waiting for it to be root bound, and it's getting there. Once it's root bound, it will start to shoot off the little baby plants. That's what makes the spider plant so popular. This is such a sweet gift. And next plant is this adorable umbrella plant. Now, it has seen better days. It again had a rough adjustment after moving here. There were a lot more leaves down here. It's having some troubles, but it's growing new leaves up at the top. See that little baby leaf? There's a little baby leaf right there too. So it has some new growth, so I'm not too worried about it. It's looking a little bit bare down there, but I have faith that it will come back to life. So this next plant I rescued, or I attempted to rescue. It's not doing so well. It's a string of pearls, but I rescued it off the side of the road. I saw it literally in the dumpster, and so I was like, I'm gonna try to save this plant, like it's already in the trash. But I think it's doing okay. I really don't know a lot about string of pearls. I'd seen them on popular plant pages before, but I honestly didn't know too much about the care. But they are a type of succulent, so they don't need a lot of water, and it likes the sun. So I put it in a sunny spot in my apartment, but it seems to be doing okay, I think. I don't know. Hopefully. I'm really excited about these next two plants because they are both succulents. Succulents are hard for me because I tend to overcare for my plants and overwater them, and succulents are a type of plant that you just kind of leave alone and forget about, and I'm not very good at that. I got these two for my graduation, and I got this one from one of my good friends and this one from my uncle. So I'm really happy that I've kept them alive, and I'm going to show you guys a close-up of what they look like because honestly it's just so dope. This succulent grew a little flower since I got it, not here when I first got it, and it grew that little addition, but it's so cute and it's like so symmetrical. It has some water droplets on it, but he looks happy. I think this is just the coolest thing in the whole world. So these were originally the same succulents. They looked exactly the same when I got them, but over time this one has started to sprout babies, and the babies have taken over the big plant. I don't know, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like that, so I'm really hoping that I can keep this guy alive. I don't usually have these flowers, but it's my birthday week, and I got these really pretty tiger lilies. These are my absolute favorite flowers. This next plant is my largest pothos plant that I have right now, and as you can see, this guy is just going crazy. So I got a pothos plant about 3 years ago, and it survived in my basement room that I had in college, and so this is now it. It is totally thriving, and it did not look like this before I moved to California, but since I moved here it has like doubled in size, and now I have these stakes to hold it up. As you can see, it is just growing really tall. I love these leaves. The variegation in them is so gorgeous. So I'm about to show you guys one of my favorite types of plants, and that is orchids. So Funny story, this is the first orchid I got ever, and my mom gave it to me as a gift in college, and I've had this for about 2 years now, I think. She gave it to me, and to be entirely honest, I forgot about it and I just left it in a window, and I found it again when I went to move out, and I thought that it was dead because it didn't have the blooms on it like this one has. I didn't know anything about orchids then, so I thought it was dead, but I kept it and tried to bring it back to life, and so I've just been taking care of it, and it's bloomed since then. But this guy lives in my bathroom, and he's not blooming right now, but he got these 2 big brand new leaves sticking out here just within the past month. And this gorgeous orchid I actually just got yesterday. I bought him in the flower district. They have a bunch of flower shops, and you can get a bunch of flowers for a really good deal, and so I got these orchids. This was only $5, so when I saw it I was like, yes please. I already had this blue pot. There was a succulent in it, but it died, surprise surprise, and so I'm gonna keep it in there for a while and let it adjust to my home. I saw the flowers on this and fell in love. I love the white and the purple. I was like, you know what, my orchid needs a friend. Now they're just living the orchid life together, happy as can be. This plant is actually another dumb cane plant, like the one you see behind me. Dumb cane that's behind me fell off of a very mature plant, and we propagated it, but this one is just a baby. Doesn't even have leaves that are starting to, you know, have that color in them. They're just plain, but this plant also had a hard time adjusting when I moved. Like the umbrella plant, it looked really big and a lot of leaves died on it, but it has some new growth, if you can see right there. I'm trying to focus on it, but it has a couple of those. I have high hopes for it. I believe it's going to grow up to be a big dumb cane plant. This is another pothos plant, and as you can see, this pot is similar to the other pot that the other pothos was in, the big one. I planted these both at the same time. They looked the same. That's why I planted them separately in these big pots, and this one's just not doing so hot. I'm not really sure why. They are in different places. I rotated the plants around a little bit to see if maybe, you know, different spot with different lighting would be better, but for now this one's okay. I think this one might be a little bit of a different species. These leaves are just a little bit different than the other leaves on the other pothos. Kind of tend to grow all bunched up together. It's still really cute. For these last plants, I'm just going to take you guys on a little bit of a tour and show you guys. They're all pothos plants, so let's take a look here. So I have a lot of pothos plants, and I have 2 others that are in these pots like this. If you've been following me for a while, you will remember I posted an article about a year ago on how to propagate pothos plants, and that's where these plants came from. So I propagated these over a year ago, and ever since then they've just grown up. And I'm pretty excited because each one of them again has a little bit of growth happening, so they just keep growing and growing. This is kind of just my little plant area you guys might remember from my apartment tour. Here are the other 2 pothos that were in that propagation group. I propagated all of these from my office. And then this guy lives in my bathroom above my cabinet, and he's still propagating in water. He is more than ready to be in soil, but I'm gonna wait a while just till it gets bigger. But I really think this one's cool because it's starting to grow like all bunched up in a circle. So instead of just being like a long vine, it's kind of like twisting up on itself and growing. So that's very cool, and my grandma gave me this pothos, so it's very special to me because it's from her, and it has new growth on it as well, so it's doing really well. This is not sponsored, but I wanted to show you guys this book because it has helped me learn a lot about plants. It's a complete guide to choosing, growing, and caring for indoor plants. I read this entire book and I bookmarked all the plants that I have in it so far. So yeah, that is my collection of houseplants. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a favorite houseplant that you saw in this video, or just a favorite plant in general, then put it down in the comments below. I would love to see which kinds of plants you guys like. If you guys want to see what's going on in my day-to-day life, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at Brittany Bolt. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.